It's very sad to see African leaders always fight over power. This man, Ousmane Sonko, and this man, Bassirou Faye. We're talking about Senegal. Here's Senegal on a map. It's a lovely country, beautiful people. These two gentlemen are fighting each other bad. One, Bassirou Faye, is the president. This one is the prime minister. And they're fighting each other really bad. But they used to be like best friends. So let's do the presentation. This man right here, his name is Ousmane Sonko. He is the Prime Minister of Senegal. This man is Bassirou Faye. He is the President of Senegal. This man, Ousmane Sonko, is a founder of PASTEF. PASTEF is a political party in which they are both affiliated. Okay, and this man, he used to be the Secretary General of PASTEF. So you're probably asking yourself the question, how come the founder is not the president, but the secretary? Well, we get to that just now. But before we get to that, you need to understand why they are fighting each other. Because when they first came, everybody loved them. They were young, strong. They looked like they really liked to see Africa the way Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger are seeing them. And everybody pushed them forward. They got the support of the youth so they can win the elections. As soon as they win the election, now they are fighting each other. So what are they fighting for? Number one, this man here, President of the Republic, Bassirou Faye, removed this lady right here, Aïssatou Mbodj, a close ally of Sonko, for the leadership of Diomaye President Coalition. They had a coalition. Ousmane Sonko openly said that there will be no change, but the president made a change. He removed this lady, Aïssatou, and replaced her with his own campaign coordinator, this lady right here, Aminata Touré. And obviously that created tension between the prime minister and the president. Number two, this man, Ousmane Sonko, Prime Minister of Senegal, while having a discussion with the IMF is this organization that lends money to poor countries or shithole countries to help them build and rebuild. Sometimes to build hospitals, roads, schools, and other infrastructure. They lend you money to do the job and they expect you to pay the money back with interest. As Sonko was discussing with the IMF, they discovered that the country was in more debt than they expected. About $11 billion in debt. A debt accumulated by the previous government. So with that sort of debt, it's very difficult to advance with the IMF. They're not very happy. They're going to be very lecturing. And that's exactly what they were trying to do with Ousmane Sonko. They said to him, we can't move forward. We need to do restructuring of your economy and your debt. So restructuring, basically, it's not a very good sign. Okay, it sends a message out there saying that the country is in danger. The country is on the verge of bankruptcy. Ousmane Sonko, this man right here, refused to accept the proposal. He did not want restructuring of the country. He said we can repay the debt as it is. Restructuring sometimes means let's renegotiate the way you're going to be paying the debt. Since you are engorged up to the neck, we can help you restructure, find ways you can pay the debt. Ousmane Sonko say no, we don't want that. We don't want you to lecture us. We can pay the debt the way it is. Let's continue doing that. What was Ousmane Sonko trying to do? By doing that, he was trying to make sure he protects the interests of Senegal. Because when a country is restructuring, it scares away all the investors. They don't want to get involved with the country because they feel like the country is on the verge of bankruptcy. And Ousmane Sonko was trying everything to protect the country from getting there. Him as a prime minister, as he did that, he expected the president to support him. You know, after he made that sentence, naturally, his expectation would be his president will say, yes, we support Ousmane Sonko. What he said was correct. We don't want restructuring. But the president did not say a thing, signaling that he was actually thinking of something completely different. Now, for you to understand the situation, we need to get back in time. Let's go back in 2021. 2021, Ousmane Sonko, very strong man, young man from Senegal, a lot of reputation. Everybody thinks he's probably going to be a president. Very charismatic, young, with the support of the youth. He was on his way to become the president of the republic. Back in time, this man Mwekassa was president. He couldn't be re-elected as president, but he wanted another person from his political party to be elected. Now, how do you get somebody to win against Sonko, who is very reputable? Well, you must find something. What did they find? Well, shortly after, Ousmane Sonko went to a massage parlor to get treated. The lady at the massage parlor laid rape charges against him and death threat.
Xoj ma ci ginaaw ne ma da ngay teud par force ma def ak yow do ngeen te bo fi yu ko gis nga armée fa la koy mën na la bolé ko xamantene bo fi yu ko ba dem déjà bo yu ko bo waxé ne dama la doon def li kenn du la gëm. Foo ko wax kenn du la gëm même boo génnee ñi nga xamante ne waa kër gi sax duñ la gëm te sa patron du nangu perdre client boo xamante ne da koy defal teraanga.
So just imagine, you know, one day you go to a massage parlor because you want to relax And the very next day, the lady at the massage parlor goes and tells everybody that you're trying to rape her. And you sent her death threat. He was arrested. As he was arrested, everybody saw that it was a move by the government to remove him from the presidential race. It was evident the guy was charismatic, strong, powerful. He had the support of the youth. How come only now you got a case of a lady who's very ugly? Nah, sorry about that. No, I'm just kidding. Saying that he tried to abuse her, nothing to do with the ugliness. The proof is there was no proof of rape or anything of that sort. Eventually, because there was no proof and it was clearly a lie, while he was in jail, people came down the street. Senegal was on fire. The youth was angry. They broke things. They attacked governmental people because they could see they were trying to steal the election away from the people of Senegal. Ousmane Sonko was the man, and everybody knew that. Now, the best way to get him out was to throw him in jail. Eventually, in June 2023, with no proof, Sonko was acquitted of rape but convicted of a lesser charge, corrupting the youth. Imagine, you were first thrown in jail for rape, then later on they say you corrupt the youth, you're still gonna stay in jail. How crazy is that? Now, by that time, Senegal was already gearing up for the election in 2024. Now, just imagine somebody who's convicted of something presenting himself as a candidate to the presidency. It was not allowed. So they got what they were looking for, to get him off the race to the presidential. Obviously, this conviction was used to bar him from contesting the 2024 presidential election. That was the goal. However, Ousmane Sonko thought very fast. How can we still win this election? Okay, they've put me aside. Well, I got somebody. His name is Bassirou Faye. He's my right hand. He's a great guy. He's been with Pastef for the longest time. I am the creator of Pastef, but he's a member. And matter of fact, we've been in jail together. So who can best represent me? He endorsed his friend to run for presidency. He told the people of Senegal, voting for him is voting for Sonko. So Bassirou Faye equals Sonko. That is how Faye won the election, because everybody thought by voting for him, they were voting for Ousmane Sonko. Because Ousmane Sonko was put to the side because of the charges that were still facing him as a human being. Faye becomes president. Ousmane Sonko was very adamant when it came to France and their policies in Senegal. He wanted nothing to do with former colonialists. He wanted to chase them out, kick the military out, and everything else. But Faye was very different. He wanted to go very easy, very soft, very different kind of politics. Matter of fact, a lot of people across the world started criticizing them, say, but Sonko spoke a big game before they came into power. How come they got into power, they're not doing anything? How come they got into power, you still have French soldiers stationed in Senegal? But this is what Sonko said.
We cannot accept the presence of foreign military bases in Senegal. And for every country that had a military base in Senegal, we have notified them to request that they withdraw all their troops from Senegal. This operation has been launched. If you have been following the news 2 days ago, a military base was vacated.
Clearly, Sonko said they don't want soldiers from France in their country anymore. They must leave. Sonko said, number two, they don't want to use the CFA franc anymore, which is the money that was created by France for colonies to use. Yes, France created this money for its ex-colonies to use. Sonko wants to part away from it, but Faye doesn't want to do that immediately. He says he wants to give it more time.
Almost no African country can afford to go into debt in local currency. And this has to stop because we suffer the consequences. And what we also want is a flexible currency pegged to at least two currencies to help cushion exogenous shocks and support our export competitiveness.
As you can clearly see, Ousmane Sonko's mentality is to push things very fast so the change can be evident. Now, as you can imagine, well, you were in jail and all of a sudden through my political party, you became candidate to the presidency. Through my name, because I told the people that voting for him equals voting for Sonko. Now, all of a sudden you get into power, you don't want to listen no more. All of a sudden you're in power, you want us to shut up. How is that even possible? How do you react in that situation? That's the biggest situation happening between Sonko and Faye right now. Now, Faye has got his group of people now that are talking into his ears, saying, nah, you can't let him do that, put you aside and bully you. And Ousmane Sonko's got his people that are very angry, including PASTEF, which is their political party, that's very much angry against Faye for taking decisions that are not the decision they took together. This is a very deep conversation, and I think there's a lot to say about it. But if there are a few things we can pull out of this is, number one, trust is a very expensive thing. Sometimes it's not about what you can do for people, because you can do all you can for people. If they're not good for you, there is absolutely nothing you can do about it. Number two, friendship, is it really forever? How do you know that? Or do they actually have a date of expiry? Perhaps in some instances. How do you know when a friendship is real? You don't know, my friend, unfortunately. Especially if you've been in jail with somebody, you've slept in conditions that are very difficult together. You tend to gravitate toward those people because you've shared so much pain and misery. And when these same very people starts to cause you harm, how do you react to that? Now my question is this one for you. Bassirou Faye want to take things easy with France. You want a policy of softness, a policy of ease, of negotiation, rearranging agreement with France. Ousmane Sonko wants a sharp policy to cut ties with everybody that's caused harm to his people. And can you understand that he feels perhaps betrayed by somebody he allowed to have contingency? Let me know how you feel about this. It was a great pleasure. We always like you to drop your comments so we can read what you have to say. Why is it always happening in Africa? Why is it always Africans? They can't build together. They can't come to black people in general. Country here. This is South Africa. Okay? Now, in South Africa, we got some very good news. In South Africa, like most African countries, you find people that are doing great in life and people that are doing not so good in life. Okay? And some of those people need help. Okay? And South Africa happens to be one of the countries that people that are going through difficulties can get help from the government. Now, good news is SASSA will now get extra financial support for electricity. Basically, South African people who don't have money will get extra money to pay for electricity. Congratulations! Some good news. And that's some good news. Oh, so from now on, people will get 500 Rand monthly boost from December 2025. I know if you look at it in dollars, it's not a lot of money. I know some of my American brothers are here looking like, what's that? What's that? But hey, that's a lot of money in many people's hand in Africa. I know you trying to compare based on New York lifestyle. Let me tell you something, with $1,000, you could have a beautiful life in most African countries. Now, SASSA is going to provide 500 Rand monthly boost from December and an extra 2,500 Rand to people that are in difficulty. So what does SASSA stand for? SASSA stands for South Africa Social Security Agency. Yes. Some African countries do look after people in difficulties. So what are the type of people that SASSA looks after? SASSA takes care of people with disability. Okay, if you cannot use your ability to work, or you cannot speak, you cannot hear, you can't walk, they give you some money at the end of the month. If you're an elderly person, I believe beyond 60 years old, you get some money from the government. If you're a single mother, okay, you have a child and the father decided to run away like most black people like to do. I don't know why you do that. Why do you do that? Why do you run away? You know, why do you play samba with a young girl then you run away? It's just crazy. Why can't you just choose the people that you actually would marry so you can do that thing? I remember when we were a kid, we were told that before you do that thing with a woman, you must make sure if she falls pregnant, you can marry her. You know you could marry that person, but you didn't. Why? Why didn't you use soap? Anyway, so ladies that's in that condition also do get some money. And I know in America it's the same, right? And some people complain about that. Donald Trump doesn't like that. He hates that because he feels like it gives you a feeling of entitlement. You feel like the government holds you from doing naked things behind the bedroom. Who was there with you? Anyway, let's not talk about that. So starting December 2025, SASSA's beneficiary will receive a new electricity support benefit. Why? Because people need money to pay for power, electricity and stuff like that. And this is great. Now, how many people do get funding from SASSA? 18 million people are beneficiaries. That's a lot of people. Now, when you see 18 million people in a country of 60 million people, you start to wonder about what Donald Trump says. I mean, set aside elderly people, okay, and disabled people, the people that are able. When you get some money, sometimes you are disallowed mentally from looking for yourself. Are we together? I know this is very triggering. It's a very sensitive subject. Yes, there are people that deserve to be looked after by government because they're disabled, because they're old, because they're impaired. There are people that are able, capable physically that should, I believe, should be looked after differently. And Donald Trump believes they shouldn't be looking after them at all because it creates society of people that are lazy. Society of women and, let's say, women that make babies with different fathers so they can get money. I'm sorry. We've seen that in American investigation was crazy. Showing women making babies with multiple men provided they get money from it. I mean, how do you get to that level? I don't know. Now, is SASA bad? Well, SASA is good, but people can use it for bad things. Like what? Because sometimes you get corruption. Okay, people create phantom accounts, phantom people that get money, but it's not actual people. It basically becomes an organized system where, you know, people collect money from an existing beneficiary for their own purpose. Now, it's very sad because that's what Africans and black people in general do. I know you're triggered by that, but I don't care. I'm going to tell you the truth all the time. Now, is it good that they look after people? Absolutely. Some of the countries in Africa do not look after their people, and it's very sad. Which countries do look after their people in terms of that? We have South Africa with SASA. We have Namibia. Namibia gives old age pension, which is paid to Namibians over 60, regardless of income. So whether you work or not, if you're 60 years old, you get money from Namibia. And here's Namibia on the map. Okay, it's a very organized country. They don't have xenophobia over there. No, they don't. Matter of fact, you see this lady here. She's from the Congo. Her parents are born Congolese, and she was born in Namibia. Okay, and she developed in Namibia, went to school in Namibia, eventually became a minister of health in a foreign land. Well, you can't do that in many African countries because the level of xenophobia is just disgusting. You guys complain about racism, but you're the biggest. You know, xenophobia is just another form of racism. Namibia, great country. They got this lady of Congolese parents, born in Namibia, bred in Namibia, went to school in Namibia, and became minister. Great. Well, Botswana also does provide money for people in difficulties, an old age pension, a monthly allowance. Botswana is very interesting. Lesotho also give old age pension. You see some similarity? Look at Botswana, Namibia, Lesotho. Oh, they look like they're in the same area. Okay. South Africa, it looks like Southern Africans are doing something very interesting for the people. Huh? They look after the people. And that's why they have a mentality to go back home looking after the people, as opposed to many Africans from the center and west. They don't go back to their villages to look after the people. And it's very, very sad. So congratulations to the people that are going to benefit from this funding. It's beautiful to see that countries in Africa do look after their people. But it's just very sad that some people will profit from this occasion to become lazy. Now, the people that deserve this should get it. It's their right. But the young people that are strong, the women that just made the baby and the father ran away, should find alternatives. I mean, 18 million people getting money out of 60 million. That is bad. That's not good. Because as much as it looks like help, well, you're disallowing people from being very strong as well. So there should be an adjustment. Let's go. On the next one, we're going to Botswana. Botswana is a very interesting country. Botswana's got some great news, fellas. In Botswana, for the very first time, over 50 years, Botswana has a new leadership aimed at releasing reliance over diamonds. So Botswana is one of those countries in the world that has the most biggest and beautiful diamond in the world. Look at this diamond.
Yeah, true that. No hospitals and everything else.
Yeah. Kids going to school.
Of course.
Food coming in. Or owning CNN.
This is, I believe, one of the biggest diamonds in the world found in Botswana. Botswana is very rich in diamonds. It's been very reliant on diamonds for the longest years. But now the new government say we need to change that. I mean, you can't just put all your eggs in one basket. It doesn't work, right? If the basket falls on the ground, then everything is gone. Now, Botswana is trying to diversify the investment and stuff like that. Matter of fact, the government is inviting investments in technology, agriculture, tourism, sport, and environmental projects, creating opportunities for young people in the nation where over 70% of citizens are under 35. Imagine a country where 70% of people are young. It's a peaceful country, one of the most organized countries in Africa. Now the government is trying to diversify things. What's interesting is Botswana wants you, brother. Whether you're African American or from the Caribbean, it's a beautiful place to explore. They want your input, they want your investment, They want diversity. So if there's a place that you're thinking about, perhaps that's something you should consider. Now, Botswana is also offering a way to get the Botswanan passport very, very quickly. Why? Because it's an interesting passport. It's very strong. It makes you African on paper, right? If you're not, it gives you opportunity to travel to many places as well. If you're African and your country cannot travel to many places, Botswana is an interesting place, an interesting passport to get. One of the best, strongest passport in Africa. Now, Botswana is offering this with a contribution of $75,000. Okay, if you're contributing $75,000 or $90,000 into an investment in Botswana, you're going to get the passport. That is great, right? Good news. Good news for the Africans and good news for the black people across the world. Botswana is a very peaceful country, and also there are some very interesting ladies over there. Look at that. She's from Botswana, this one. Look at this one. Okay, I know you probably like them big. Look at this big one. She's also from Botswana. I know you like Nyash. Look at this one with Nyash. you like light skin? Look at this one with light skin. Okay, look at this dark skinned woman from Botswana. So all the colors and the chocolate and whatever that you're looking for, you're probably going to find in Botswana. But that's not the reason why you should go there. You should go and invest. Now, on the downside, fellas, because somebody always has to come and destroy the party, the UK on the 14th of October has revoked visa-free from Botswana passport holders. Yes, they decided to revoke visa-free from Botswana passport holders. You know, prior to that, Botswanan citizens used to go to the UK with no visa, or sometimes they had to just sort of do something electronically and quickly go, grab a flight and go to the UK. Now the UK has decided, well, we don't think we want to do this. It's crazy. Is it coincidence? Well, because it's coincide with the fact that Botswana has just made its announcement of new citizenship by investment program. Okay, though the UK official cited that there's a surge of asylum seeking as a reason to why they've changed the law. The UK say that there's a sharp rise in asylum applications from Botswana nationals. Over 1,300 claims between January and September 2025. Botswana people don't necessarily go and stay in other people's countries. But UK said that from January to now, 1,300, let me just put it this way for you. Most African countries don't get visas. If they do get visas, they get scrutinized to the highest level. They don't get visas. Why? Because when they go to other nations, Europe, America, they don't return back home. Why? Because they believe life back home is really bad. They don't like it. How? Because they vote people that are criminals, or they support governmental people that are not good for the country. Now, how come these governmental people still stay in power? Because these people generally are from their tribes. So you can't criticize somebody from the tribe. Only they can criticize him. You don't criticize him. So it's sad. But this is very same people will try to go to other people's country and don't want to come back. Botswana doesn't have that culture of staying in other people's country. Now, where does the surge come from? Some people believe because Botswana makes things very easy to other people, meaning an African national can go to Botswana, get married, live there for 5 years and get a Botswanan passport. Many African passports cannot travel to the UK visa-free. Botswana is one of the only passports that can actually could travel to UK and Europe visa-free. So the UK said we can't do this anymore. On top of that, the fact that you open this citizenship via investment, we're not going to do this anymore. We were fine with you, people from Botswana. Now that you Botswanans are fine with everybody else, we are not going to be fine with you. So sorry. That's what they say. That's what it is, fellas. South Africans are going to get more money for electricity, 500 Rand per month, and 2,500 for some other people from SASSA, which is the South African Social Security Agency. This shows you that some African countries do look after each other. Ghana also, I believe, looks after elderly people, which is a great thing. But there are many African nations that have this program, but people don't see the money because some of the people from the very same country use the same money to build houses and villas and stuff and marry 5 wives and 6 wives. But don't say anything about it because people from their tribe are going to get very angry at you. The same way in Nigeria, they say Christian are being unalive, and when somebody says, no, let's find a solution to that, they say, no, don't they come here. Let's our unalived Christians say unalive. As long as we make sure they're unalive in our country, it can stay here. So do you have a problem? Yes, we do have a problem. But don't come find a solution for us because we cannot find a solution, but you don't come open your mouth. Same thing in every area. Let me know how you feel about this. It was a great pleasure. I know a lot of Nigerians are triggered now. I was trying to make a nice video without saying Nigeria. Yes, my brother, we're talking about Nigeria again. So security forces are right now intensifying effort to find 25 young girls from school who were abducted. These are boarding school where kids sleep at. They were taken by gunmen. For what purpose? Well, you can imagine what purpose. Now, my question is, why are they intensifying now to find them? I mean, you could have intensified protecting them. It's like I'm intensifying trying to heal myself of a incurable disease I just received. I could have intensified the effort to not catch it. Oh, now I'm traveling all across the world looking for somebody to heal me of my disease. But I could have intensified the effort to not put it anywhere. So this is crazy again, fellas. It's very sad to see the situation in Nigeria. We have to talk about this, and we don't care whether you like it or not. We are going to talk about this. Why? Because Nigeria has 225 million human beings. They are all over Africa, and we need to understand what's happening in Nigeria. For you too. I mean, don't allow them to make you feel like it's a complicated issue. It's not. It's actually very simple. November 17th, 2025. Here. Kebbi State. Armed gunmen attacked a government girls' secondary school in Maga, Kebbi State, northwest Nigeria, where all the mayhem is happening. Well, the assailants arrived in motorcycles. Yes, motorbikes. Vroom, 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 vroom. At what time? 4 o'clock in the morning. Exactly when it's dark and people are kind of sleepy and the response is very slow. They got onto the school, forced themselves in a dormitory, opened fire, and abducted 25 girls. Well, they abducted 25 female students. For what purpose? You can imagine. Again, and during the raid, they shot and killed the vice principal, Hassan Yakubu Makuku. May peace be with his soul. They also injured one staff member.
His wife, Amina Hassan, was at her husband's side when he was shot. She says she sat behind him as they prayed together, and then the gunman pulled the trigger. She rushed to him, she says, but was told by the attackers that if she touched him, they would shoot her.
Apparently, the gunmen were very organized. The attack appeared well planned, with gunmen using rifle to overpower initial resistance before fleeing into the bush. What resistance? So we need to find out. So there was some sort of resistance. President Bola Tinubu has reacted. He has expressed his sadness over the incident, noting it occurred despite prior intelligence alert. Oh, prior intelligence. So there was intelligence telling people in the government that gunmen were planning to go to the specific school to abduct girls. But even though they had prior intelligence, they could not do anything about it. So you knew about this, right? You knew about this, but you did nothing about it. Nothing to protect these young girls that are innocent. I mean, these are secondary girls. Nothing was done to protect them. President Tinubu has dispatched Vice President Kashim Shettima to Kebbi State on November 19th to commiserate with the government and family. Why do you send him? Why do you send this man Kashim Shettima to do what? I mean, the girls are gone. Dude, if you could have done something, you should have done it a long time ago to protect the girls. Since you had the intelligence, you knew these girls were about to be abducted. You didn't dispatch nobody to get them protected. But after they are abducted, now you're sending some dude named Kashim Shettima to go and commiserate and show sympathy to the families of the people that have lost their girls, who are probably gonna get raped Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. What a nice man. So, Kebbi, again, this state right here, the governor named Nasir Idris visited the school. He went to the school on the 17th and please full support. You know, I'm supporting you.
We see the parent that their children who have been abducted. And we give them confidence, we give them our words that we'll do everything possible to ensure that their children are being rescued.
We will rescue the girls. I'm supporting you in spite of the fact that they had prior intelligence. So they knew, okay? But they didn't show support when they knew. They're only showing support when the damage is done and somebody's unalived and the girls are gone. I don't know if these girls are still the way they're supposed to be or they've put it on them already. Now they're coming to show sadness. The state government urges the public to avoid spreading unverified information amid circulating rumors. It's always that. Don't talk about unverified information. But we're seeing, I mean, were the girls abducted? Yes. Did you know about it? Yes. So what unverified information are we talking about? Could you have done something about it? Yes. Well, this is a boarding school where the girls sleep at, study at, you know. I mean, there should be a level of security. What kind of security did they have? Well, there was fencing, a perimeter fencing, you know, just fencing to protect them. I mean, you can't protect people with fencing. Two, there was a single security guard on the premise, one security guard to protect girls. in the bush. Yes, because a lot of Nigeria is the bush. 3. Police tactical units occasionally deployed for patrol. Dude, you live in a shithole country where people get abducted Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and you got boarding schools of girls only, and you have a tactical police unit that occasionally deployed for patrol or temporary guarding, especially in high-risk area in Kebbi. Number 4, they have vigilante. There's vigilante and military checkpoint. Apparently, there's military checkpoints. They're supposed to be functional. Military, have you been to military checkpoint before? They will search you. They need to know about you. Where are you going? Where do you come from? Military checkpoints in plural, okay, exist nearby next to the village in Marke village, but are not integrated into the school daily security. Now, why do you have military checkpoint in a place that not necessarily focus on girls? Because you have girls, you know, these people look for girls. I'm asking a question. What are the checkpoint for? The checkpoint aim to monitor forest route used by bandits. Bandits are basically these people from the north, they're mostly Muslim. They take people away, they unalive them, they ask for ransom and stuff like that. But they fail to prevent incursion as attackers reportedly infiltrated via Zamfara forest. But they had intelligence. Why didn't they buff up the security and the prevention measure? I'm just asking. You had intelligence. You know, a lot of people have been complaining in Nigeria saying they reach out to governments, tell them about things. I mean, don't get triggered. I see you running away. Don't run away. Face yourself right here. Face yourself. People complain saying we speak to government when we have intelligence. We know they're gonna come. They do absolutely nothing. Well, this report we're giving you right now is not being reported in Nigeria at all. Media outlets are but when Donald Trump said, I want to come to Nigeria, proposing you a solution, which is, let me go finish terrorism by myself. What did people say? No, sovereignty, you can't do this. Christians are not being unalived. Girls are not being abducted. We can handle this ourselves. Okay, matter of fact, you're actually trying to come here just to steal from us. The whole black community was up in arms, very angry. No, they move again. We know that move. They want to come and take things from the people. Do you know that the general of the army of Nigeria was captured in the past couple of days and unalived? A general, after saying to the people in the capital, I'm in trouble, come and help me. He shared information about his whereabouts. After sharing information about his whereabouts, you know, you share your location, you share where you are. Then the assailants found out exactly where he was. How did they find out? I mean, this is the army. They're supposed to have internal secured means of communication. How did they find out where he was after he shared with his people that I'm here, come help me? So could it be somebody from the government that shared that very same information with the dangerous people? I'm just asking. This is crazy, fellas. You know, when you hear information about any information, you need to double check. Even this, you can go double check. I think it's very necessary. We need to talk about this. This is important because, again, Nigeria has 225 million human beings. If Nigeria fails, the entire Africa is going to fall into the hand of dangerous people. Let me repeat myself. If Nigeria is unable to contain these people, the next thing is going to be Cameroon or Benin or maybe Burkina Faso. If not Togo, and it's going to push. That's what I'm saying. So we have a situation again here where 25 girls were abducted, they're taken away. Government has shown support. They've sent the vice whoever to go and speak to the family and make them feel good. And the governor said they're not going to leave no stone unturned. I mean, you had the intelligence. You should have put the stones before this had occurred, right? That's why people that have prostitution mentality in their head, they drink those tablets so they can prevent themselves from getting any, disease that stays forever, right? That is responsible. Okay, he knows I've got a situation where I like to do things with many people, so therefore, and I don't like putting that plastic bag. So let me take this stuff. This is how you act. You don't say, okay, oh man, how do we manage you? Now you got it. Donald Trump said he want to come and help. Why were the Africans angry? Because people look on the top of the things. You just look on the skin. You don't see deep inside what's happening. It looks like, number one, there is betrayal. Okay, people don't trust each other. You don't know who to trust in Nigeria. Number two, this looks like there are people that are benefiting from this because they are cooperating and coordinating with these dangerous people. Number three, it looks like somebody shared those information about that general whereabouts so he can get unalived. Or again, do you know that Nigerian government has taken some people, ex-Boko Haram, retrain them and put them back into the government army? How do you put people like that back into the government? I mean, I don't know. Does it work? I mean, how do you know one of those people, or 2 or 5 or 20, are actually just coming in to get information from the inside? And I'm just asking, is there no other way to get them out of the retrain them and put them back into society without necessarily putting them into the army where they're going to get the intelligence? And I'm just asking. This is sad, man. This is not the first time. In 2014, Boko Haram abducted 2,076 schoolgirls from government secondary school. They sparked global outrage and bring back our girls. I don't know if you remember, and up until now, 100 of these girls are still missing. And nobody talks about this. I mean, is this a shithole country or not? I'm just saying. I see you getting triggered. Don't talk about my country like that. Dude, what are you doing about your country? I mean, it's good to push back Donald Trump saying, Trump is a bad man. They're trying to steal. What's best? Stealing or people being unalived every single day and abducted and raped? I'm just asking, what is best? For the time being, until things get better, is it better to get things stolen? Because you don't even profit from it. Do you profit from lithium from Nigeria? You don't. Do you profit from oil from Nigeria? You don't. Not you. You don't. You live in poverty and misery. That's why you hate your own country. You want to go to Germany, you want to go to Britain and America, don't you? You do. You don't profit from it. You do not profit from it. So it won't make any change in your particular life. Unless you have a governor uncle that drips some things down to you. People that are very angry are people that are profiting from the situation. What's happening in Nigeria is very deep. It's not just about the Western nation looking to steal. Are they looking to steal? Absolutely. Is Trump seizing this opportunity for his own interest? Absolutely. Is that normal? That's exactly what powerful countries do when they face shithole countries. How? Because if you can't run your own house, I'm going to come run it for you. As simple as that. Why do you give them an opportunity to say we can bring guns blazing into your country and free you? Who's going to talk about these girls? 25 girls. These are people's daughters, people's family members who are taken from now. I mean, sending a governor will not change the situation. Do you think sending a governor will get these people back? How many of these girls have you gotten back? Because some of the time when they get these girls, they ask for ransom from the families. So the family have to pay money that they don't have to get these girls back. Sometimes they get them back. Sometimes they don't. Because up until now, the one taken in 2014, 100 of them are missing. We need to talk about Nigeria because Nigerians are all across the world. And Nigerians that are all across the world, we don't know their mentality. Are they the bandits? Are they the Boko Haram? Are they the SWAP? Or are they normal Nigerians? You don't know that. You can't say you know. You can't say you know. Or matter of fact, Dubai has just blocked Nigeria again from getting visas. Yeah, I think things are going to change. But yeah, for now. Are they wrong in thinking that way? Now, how do they know the people coming in Dubai are just normal people or swamp or Boko Haram or bandit or herdsmen? How do you know? Is it written here? It's not. Somebody has to do something about it. And the people that should be angry about it first should be Nigerians themselves. So it's two ways to see it. They're trying to insult our country or they're trying to actually look at the point and things that the local medias are not talking about. Should we rather shut up? How would the people, family members of these girls abducted feel when nobody speaks about them? Let me know how you feel about this. Sometimes we are our own problems. We are. And our problems are very different across Africa. God bless.